what has this collaboration brought to ConocoPhillips?
It's also brought, I think, very good business both for ConocoPhillips and for China and CNOOC, and then lifelong friends actually.
Does such frequent communication indicate a closer cooperation between ConocoPhillips and Binhai New Area this year?
We have, again, for many decades we have been close to Tianjin and Binhai New Area.
今年年初，中国海洋石油集团有限公司天津分公司与康菲石油中国有限公司共同宣布，双方合作开发的蓬莱油田群原油累计产量已突破5亿桶。近日，康菲石油全球副总裁、康菲石油中国有限公司总裁胡凯成在滨海新区接受了本台专访。
ConocoPhillips has been a long-standing friend to China, collaborating with CNOOC's Tianjin branch on Penglai Oilfield for over 20 years. So what has this collaboration brought to ConocoPhillips?
It's brought us great learnings. It's also brought, I think, very good business both for ConocoPhillips and for China and CNOOC, and then lifelong friends actually. So ConocoPhillips has been here in China for 43 years. So we were invited in the early 80s, in the beginning of the opening up reforms. And we're one of the largest and leading companies in E&P in the world. And when we were inviting here to China, it was to help joint up with CNOOC to develop that industry here in China. So we are traditionally here in China, of course, been then producing oil and gas for a long time. In addition to that, now we do bring a lot of LNG into China that we in some cases produce together with our Chinese partners abroad. And a lot of that comes to Tianjin. And now in energy transition, we are exploring opportunities in the new energy space. In addition to that, from here to China, we also provide a lot of supply chain services to the other business units that ConocoPhillips have around the world, and also some of our transactional services take place here in China for the rest of our global businesses. Continuing in that spirit of things we have learned together with CNOOC through the development of our offshore oil fields, we have learned a lot of things, how to bring international management practices here into China, the HSE standard, and how we've learned how to standardize the operation of our platforms. Those are things that we have learned and improved together. I think that's also been a very good thing for us. Actually, China's important to us. When we had our CEO and chairman, Mr. Ryan Lance, he came to China here in earlier this year, and he was just here for 2 days. So in addition to his important meetings in Beijing, he made a specific visit here to Tianjin and met. We went to the COEC yard to learn about their intelligent engineering and manufacturing sites.
Looking at the oil and gas sector, how long do you expect the production life of Penglai Oilfield to be? Are there any upcoming projects we should be aware of?
Sure. So Penglai is the largest offshore oil field here in China. So even though it's been producing for 20 years, it's large. It's structurally complex though, and we have to work very closely on innovation to make sure that we can maximize those resources. We had 2 large platforms coming along just at the end of last year that we started up, and they will produce for the next decades to come. And we're already in the engineering phases for the next project to come after that. So we're excited about the future, and there's more to come here together with our partner CNOOC.
We heard that ConocoPhillips initiated numerous of new LNG projects globally. So can you share your insights into China's LNG market, and what potential opportunities are you exploring in LNG sector in Binhai New Area?
So LNG is a very important fuel for the energy transition for the world. So a very rapid growth in that industry. Actually, if you look at both the national and international data, we believe that even those volumes can almost double over the next couple of decades. So LNG and natural gas is here to stay. It's a more cleaning burning fuel, so it's important not only for the economies but also for the energy transition. when it comes to ConocoPhillips, we have a large LNG portfolio. Actually, we have been in the LNG business for over 60 years. And we were the company that brought the first LNG cargo into China, into Shanghai in 2011. So we are right now, we have projects in 4 continents on LNG, and then a lot of that LNG, actually, some of it is produced with Chinese partners, with CNOOC in Australia, and a lot of that comes here to Tianjin. So since 2016, we have imported 15 million ton of LNG into Tianjin to help then both with energy transition, but also with energy security. When it comes to Binhai, when we had the great opportunity to have Mr. Lien Mao Jun over to our corporate headquarters in Houston earlier this year, and him and his delegation saw a lot what we're doing in the gas and the power market. They came to our trading floor, and it's really exciting to hear that Binhai New Area is also establishing a oil and gas exchange, and also there's a very important market here for a lot of the what can be then potentially both bunkering type of LNG business. All of that energy that comes into here are important for China's energy security, and we are currently looking at more opportunities then for more LNG into China, and of course Binhai New Area being one of those places that we're excited to evaluate those opportunities.
目前，康菲石油中国有限公司正在与中国海洋石油积极开展合作，筹备蓬莱油田新一轮开发项目，也正在为中国供应更多的液化天然气，以满足中国的能源需求和转型目标。与此同时，康菲石油中国有限公司正在与中国海洋石油及其他中国伙伴一起，积极探寻低碳发展的机会。
The government work report released during the 2 sessions once again emphasized the dual carbon goal. On January 31st, Penglai Oilfield Carbon Neutrality Joint Office, a collaboration between ConocoPhillips and CNOOC's Pengbo operating company, was established in Tianjin. And what role will this office play in the future, and what will it undertake?
It's maybe the importance of the dual carbon goals for China. China will be a very important player to help the world in its energy transition, and it's driving a lot of the technology that's allowing that to happen. So our company is very aligned with that. We have a carbon neutrality goal of 2050, ConocoPhillips, and we see China as a very good market for us on how we can explore that opportunity. We want to get there as a company, and of course China wants to get here as a company and economy. And we're very aligned with our partner CNOOC. So this was a great opportunity for us to look at our Penglai operation, and then to see what will it take for us to reach a net operational zero. So we have embarked on this journey together. Actually, it started in already 2022 in terms of we launched a offshore wind farm pilot for Penglai to provide energy to our platforms. And then the next step of that was when we signed a memorandum of understanding at the CIIE in November last year. So that MOU is meant to see what will it take to get our Penglai operations to net zero. And so there are 6 work streams of this MOU, and we intend to work that together in our joint office. So the joint office will be the primary place where we will advance these 6 work streams to help us figuring out first in the planning and engineering state what it takes to get us to operational net zero, and then hopefully implementing that in the years to come. So this joint office is really in the heart and center of what we want to achieve for our Pengbo operating company, but it's also an opportunity for us to learn something together that we can then explore and then implement in the rest of our operations, whether that is in China or outside of China. So it's a great opportunity to set that example for us as an industry.
So how many times have you been there this year up to now?
Yeah, so I've been 4 times, so this will be my 5th time then this year.
Does such frequent communication indicate a closer cooperation between ConocoPhillips and Binhai New Area this year?
Yes, we have, again, for many decades we have been close to Tianjin and Binhai New Area, and I do think this increased support that we're getting from the Binhai New Area government is very helpful. The partnership with CNOOC has been strong over many decades, and that always brings us back. This is also a home for many of our staff that work in our operations. So for many of those reasons, I also think that the great signal by Mr. Lien and his delegation's visit to our corporate headquarters, that was his first stop in his US tour. And we had a good dialogue then about what it takes for the private businesses to flourish and do more here in China. And that support that they show, the signals that send about they're open for more international investments.
We heard that ConocoPhillips has partnered with the International Cardiovascular Hospital for congenital heart disease relief for 16 years. So can you share your company's efforts in charity fronts in Tianjin?
And in 2008, we launched our Heart for Heart program. And this is a program there where we provide the screening and then help Tish fund free surgeries for children from rural and poor area with heart surgeries for their congenital heart disease. And we went to visit the children that were then screened and now being operated here. So in total, that's been over 650 children that we have saved their lives on together, and we're very proud of this effort. And in addition to that, we have a training program that was launched in 2013 where we bring international pediatrician cardiology training to medical professionals here at Tish. And we've trained over 2,000 medical professionals under that program, and that's helped to serve over 10,000 children. Just over the last couple of months, we have together again with CNOOC jointly launched a program that started out with the Sunshine School. So it's a program for mentally and physically disabled students that we are supporting. It's an opportunity for us to not only in business work together, but also then as a responsible corporate citizen, joint our effort in CSR. So those are the two big CSR efforts that we have here in Tianjin and Binhai, and that keeps us bringing back in addition to the business that we have here.
除了关爱中国家庭健康之外，康菲中国在教育、乡村振兴、环保及灾难救援等民生领域也积极贡献着社会爱心力量。在坚持自身业务稳健发展的同时，康菲中国也在持续创造持久的价值。
ConocoPhillips has arrived in China more than 40 years ago and has witnessed the rapid development of China. And how do you view the opportunities that China's development brought to ConocoPhillips and the world?
ConocoPhillips is a company that's been around for more than 100 years. But the opportunity to be invited into China in the early days of the opening up and reform area is something that we really cherished that invitation, and we have benefited hugely from that. We have together helped develop the offshore oil and gas industry here in China, mostly then, of course, with our partner CNOOC, and we have learned a lot together. And I believe that the energy sector is energy security is important nowadays, but it's always been part of any countries and civilizations' growth, and we really helped each other in that part. We, together with many other international companies that were invited in the opening up era, has, I believe, also feel proudly about what we have jointly established and accomplished. I think the fact that when China is growing, the rest of the world is growing. So I believe it's not only something that has helped improve the economy and the lives here in China, but as China has developed more, so has the world have an opportunity to grow.
This year marks the 45th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and the U.S. What do you think a stable China-U.S. relationships means for ConocoPhillips' future development?
I think stable U.S. and China relationship is first of all, it's not only good for China and the U.S. It's good for all the other countries around the world, and it's very good for business. So I believe the increased opening and reform. I think the many visits right now that Mr. Len was part of that. It sends the right signal that China is going to continue to support the opening up, and that's going to create more business opportunities. For a company like ConocoPhillips, we also believe that the dual carbon goals of China, which is then again very aligned to what our net zero by 2050 goals are, this energy transition is going to create a lot of opportunities, both for traditional oil and gas companies, but as we all transition into a greener economy, that's going to be very helpful. I think the way that China is really embarked on the dual carbon goal, you're really leading the way in a lot of the renewable energy production and also the technology associated with that. It's something that we hope to be part of. And when we look at now, especially when it comes to the EV revolution here, the lithium-ion batteries, and also then the PV, it's truly something that China is leading the world in. And as China grows in that, there will be an opportunity for another win-win where China grows and the rest of the world can help in that. And hopefully we can do that peacefully. So back to the China-US relationship, I think it's very important to allow this to happen and for the benefit of all.
We learned that you have received Tianjin Haihe Friendship Award this year. Thanks for your outstanding contributions to Tianjin's economic and society. So can you share your personal story with China and Tianjin?
I'm very, very proud to receive the Haihe Friendship Award. As the president for ConocoPhillips here, it's of course it's not only for me, but it's something, a sign of the dedication that our company have to the area, and also the support that we're getting from the local government and the achievements that we have come to together with our partner CNOOC. So when I received this, I was very, very honored, and I'm proud of that. My story here in China goes back quite a long time. I came here for the first time in 1998. So after high school, I worked through high school and I saved up some money, and I was born in Sweden and grew up in Sweden, far away from here in a very small country. I think our country is about half the size of Tianjin as a city. So, so in high school I learned a little bit about China and this how a country with such a long history and now was growing so fast, and a lot of opportunities being created over here. So I decided to buy a one-way ticket to China, and I spent around 3 months backpacking around here in China. So again, I got to deeper appreciation of the culture, the sceneries, and primarily the people and the food as well, right? Yeah. And so that was my first encounter with China, and then I have since then come back in a more professional capacity. I've been involved in energy projects for the first time I came back again after that. I spent about 3 months, quite a lot of that actually in Tianjin and Binhai when I was here in 2006. Then over the next 6-7 years I came and went with business. Actually my younger brother lived here for 6 years at the time, so went to see him. He lived in Shanghai and Hong Kong. And then I had a great opportunity to come here and move here in 2019 when ConocoPhillips asked me to come and join our China operation. So since then me and my family made China our home.